You're already addicted to something, whether it's scrolling, overthinking, or spending 2 hours crafting the perfect Spotify playlist for your 20-minute gym session. Don't lie, we've all been there. But what if you could redirect that same energy, that same hunger, into becoming a better version of you? That's not fantasy. That's how warriors are built. And one of the greatest transformations in anime didn't come from a flashy power-up. It came from a broken boy with nothing left to fight for, who rebuilt himself from the ground up. Thorfinn Karlsefni, a kid who lived for revenge, then lost everything, and somehow became something greater. Today, we're talking about how to get addicted to self-improvement in the best way possible. The Viking way, the Shonen way, your way. Let's build. Let's get one thing straight. Not all addiction looks like rock bottom and rehab. Sometimes it looks like hustle, like ambition, like trying to prove something to everyone who ever doubted you. Or worse, trying to prove something to that one guy from high school who posts shirtless gym selfies every Tuesday and calls himself Mr. Discipline. Relax, Kevin. That was Thorfinn in the beginning. He trained relentlessly, ate scraps, slept in snow, risked everything to get stronger, but not for peace, not for purpose, for revenge. It wasn't discipline, it was desperation in disguise. He was chasing strength, hoping it would numb the pain of loss. And here's the wild part. Most of us do the same thing. We call it the grind. Waking up early, journaling, cold showers, studying, no days off. You know, all the things TikTok told you to do before 6 a.m. Just casually unlock godhood while everyone else sleeps. But if that grind is built on self-hatred, you're not improving, you're punishing yourself in a productivity costume. Thorfinn wasn't addicted to growth. He was addicted to pain, and it nearly destroyed him. But then, something changed. When the revenge disappeared, so did the mask. And what was left? A man with no enemies, just a blank slate and a choice. So what happens when the fuel runs out, when the revenge is gone? The enemy is dead, and the goal you built your identity around just vanishes. Most people spiral. Thorfinn, he face-planted into rock bottom. Literally, dude went from elite warrior to dirt farmer overnight. And yeah, he looked like a discount scarecrow for a while. But here's where the story flips. Instead of chasing power, he started chasing peace. Instead of fighting everyone, he decided to fight himself. Not with fists, but with patience, with humility, with the slow, boring, unglamorous grind we call real growth. He built a new version of himself. One fence post, one shovel of dirt, one, yes, Master Kettle, at a time. Here's the truth no one tells you. Growth doesn't always look like a training arc. Sometimes it looks like chopping firewood and not complaining about it. That's the kind of self-improvement that sticks. When you're not trying to outrun your past, you're learning how to stand still with it, sit with it, let it teach you. We've all tried to reboot with that 90-day challenge energy. The gym, the clean diet, the Notion planner with 74 tabs that you stop using after 3 days, but don't delete out of shame. That's not transformation. That's a spike. And what Thorfinn teaches us, quietly, painfully, beautifully, is that real change happens after the hype wears off, when it's cold, when it's silent, when nobody's watching. That's when the real addiction starts to form, the kind built on purpose. And once you taste it, you never want to go back. Let's be real. Discipline sounds cool. Until at 6 a.m., your alarm sounds like a war horn from Helheim, and your blanket feels like Valhalla. So how do you actually make self-improvement stick? How do you become addicted to growth like Thorfinn did, minus the whole rage-fueled murder saga? Easy. You create a loop. The Viking loop. Meaningful action, immediate feedback, identity reinforcement. Let's break it down without sounding like a motivational spreadsheet. Step 1, meaningful action. Or as I like to call it, stop doing random stuff. Thorfinn didn't wake up and do every habit under the sun. He didn't chase 10 goals at once. He picked one thing, rebuild himself, and then he got to work. Same with you. Want the loop to start spinning? Pick one habit that actually aligns with your values. Not something from a glow-up reel with lo-fi beats and matcha lattes. Want to be stronger? Lift. Want to be clearer? Journal. Want peace? Meditate. Pray. Take quiet walks. Don't just do stuff. Choose stuff that builds you. Step 2, immediate feedback. Because many wins beats mega goals every time. Thorfinn didn't get stronger because he had a 5-year plan. He got stronger because he woke up, worked the land, didn't die, and repeated. That's feedback. Track tiny wins, visual progress, checklists, mood journals. Whatever makes your brain go, ooh, I did a thing. Gamify your life a little. Not to become a robot, but to keep your dopamine loyal. Step 3, identity reinforcement. Or, in plain terms, I am the kind of person who, this one's big. Thorfinn stopped seeing himself as a killer. He started seeing himself as a builder, and everything changed. You want self-improvement to be addictive? Tie your habits to your identity, not just your outcome. Don't say, I want to read more. Say, I'm the kind of person who values wisdom. Don't say, I need to work out. Say, I am a warrior. This is what I do. Addiction isn't about discipline. It's about design. Make the loop work for you, and eventually, skipping the habit will feel worse than doing it. Thorfinn didn't rebuild himself with hacks, trends, or aesthetic routines. He did it the hard way, the old way, the only way that truly works. And if you want to unlock that level of transformation, you need one thing he never had at first: a reason. You can only grind so long without a why before your motivation packs its bags and leaves a note that says, this was fun, but I'm tired. We've all been ghosted by our motivation. That's where most people fall off. They get obsessed with habits, but never ask themselves, what are these habits actually building? Thorfinn almost made that mistake twice. Phase 1. His first why was revenge. It gave him fuel until it ran out, and when it did, he was just a sword without a master. Pointless, lost. Kind of like when you finish a big project and immediately spiral into an identity crisis. Been there, still there. But then, the dream. Thorfinn found himself in a serene field, a lamb bleating nearby. For a moment, peace. But then, his father Thor's appeared, not with warmth, but with a question. Who have you killed with these blades? Suddenly, the ground erupted. Cadaverous hands reached out, pulling him into a chasm of writhing bodies, faces of those he'd slain. He struggled, tried to kick him away. Then Askeladd appeared, calm, icy, and said, listen to them. These are the ones you've killed. Thorfinn stopped resisting. He saw their faces, felt their pain. He wept, apologized to each one. And Askeladd, the forever mentor, said, this is your battle. Climb even if the dead cling to you. Become a true warrior. And climb he did. Not to escape, but to carry the weight of his past upward. Upon waking, Thorfinn made a vow, not just to Einar, but to himself. I will never hurt anyone again. Phase 2, the Vinland Vision. Vinland wasn't just a place, it was peace, a world without chains, without war, a dream where no one had to fight to survive. It became more than a goal, it became a mission. And once Thorfinn locked onto that, every step had a purpose. Every task had meaning. Even suffering made sense. Because now, it wasn't just about becoming stronger. It was about becoming someone worthy of that dream. That's the power of vision. It makes the grind sacred. What's your Vinland? Maybe it's not a peaceful continent. Maybe it's a version of yourself you haven't met yet. A life where you're not anxious all the time. Where you're proud of who you are, where you walk into a room and don't shrink to fit it. Your habits need a direction, not just upward, but forward, toward something that matters to you. And here's the kicker. You don't find your Vinland by thinking about it. You find it by becoming the kind of person who could reach it. One habit at a time, one choice at a time, one scar at a time. So yeah, become addicted, but not to hustle. Become addicted to the mission, to the becoming. Because once you feel that momentum, there's no going back. Most people treat self-improvement like a summer fling. Hot and heavy for 3 weeks, then ghosted the second it gets hard. You're not here for a fling. You're here to marry the mission. Because here's the truth most people miss. Self-improvement doesn't end. There's no final form. No 100% completion trophy. No anime narrator whispering, he has now become his ultimate self. Although, let's be honest, that'd be sick. What you're building isn't just goals. It's a way of living, a rhythm, a code, where growth isn't a task list. It's just who you are, where showing up, leveling up, and rising up is your default setting, even when it's boring, even when it's thankless, even when no one claps. That's the final form of Thorfinn, not the vengeful kid, not the warrior for hire, but the man who wakes up every day, works the land, and lives with purpose. No sword, no spotlight, just integrity. Your turn. You don't need to go Viking mode overnight. You just need to start living like the kind of person you'd respect. Want to love yourself? Start acting like someone worth loving. Want to be consistent? Show up even when no one sees it. Want to be addicted to growth? Attach it to something deeper than likes and followers. Make the lifestyle simple. Make it sustainable. Make it yours. You've already got the hunger, you've already got the tools, now you've got the blueprint. So go ahead, become addicted to self-improvement. Just make sure the person you're becoming is someone you actually want to be. Your Vinland is waiting, and it's not found through force, it's found through becoming.